Top 100 studio in sunny San Diego, California. Big biz shows on the air, nationwide, coast to coast, international. A big welcome to our latest affiliate, Bloomberg Television. Great to have you along today. Sully here, Costa there, executive producer, Greg Todoroff, of course, the DT Chain with us today. We will get back to business here immediately. Eric Dresselhuys, one of the shareholders contacted you about 6 months ago.
That's right.
That said, hey, you got to interview this guys from ESS Inc. or ESS Inc. So this is careful. Esss Inc. is the name of the company, stock symbol GWH. Interesting company in the world of long duration energy storage. And if you look anywhere online about this, this accelerates renewables, as their website says. It stabilizes the grid. And it is top of mind almost everywhere when you think in terms of alternative energy sources and long-term duration storage is sort of the tip of the spear here. Here to talk about that once again is the CEO of ESS Inc., Eric Dresselhuys. Eric, great to have you along today. This is some exciting stuff here because every time, now I've got my Google alerts on the term long-term energy storage, and I used to get like 3 stories a day. Now there's 20 stories a day. Are you seeing the same thing where suddenly this is sort of the chat du jour out there in terms of this space?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right, Sully. You should maybe check your Google alert. If it's only 20, you're getting ripped off. Somebody's shorting you the articles. You know, we just got back from the largest renewable energy conference in North America. It happened in Las Vegas last week. And this is a show that, you know, a year ago drew maybe 20,000 people. There were something like 75,000 people there. You know, the movement's underway, and long duration storage is, you know, very quickly becoming top of mind for people because they realize that building more renewables without building more storage starts to not make so much sense.
Sure. Is that the importance? I mean, is that the real importance of long duration energy storage, is the fact that much like even in the EV market here in the US or even in the cannabis market, to take a page out of that book, we just didn't have the infrastructure ready when we had sort of the technology ready. Sort of the same thing here. Is that the real importance here?
Yeah, that's really what's happened. I mean, we've been deploying solar, we've been deploying wind for a long time. Meanwhile, the weather is getting more unpredictable, so outages and heat waves and things are happening much more regularly. And you know, when you talk to people, what they really want out of the electricity system is, you know, reliability, have it not cost an arm and a leg, and if it could not kill the earth, that'd be pretty great. And you know, yeah, yeah. That's the 3 things people want. It's not that it's we have the technologies now. We know how to do it. It's just a question of moving at a much faster pace.
Eric, where do you see the longer duration energy storage in the next 10 years?
No, I think it's going to be well, it depends on who you talk to. People like McKinsey think it could be as big as $1 trillion market is what they've predicted.
That's big.
Yeah, so that's pretty big on a global basis, and it is a global business. So we were fortunate at this conference. We were given an award by the Department of Commerce for a U.S. company building products here, exporting around the world. We have customers in Australia, in Europe. So your Bloomberg EU, we can go there, and people will know about it. So it's growing. It's like all infrastructure. It takes time. Just like a highway, building this stuff takes time. But
Sure.
once it gets going, the volumes, the scale is really daunting.
Hey, Eric, last time you were on the air, we got a few emails talking about your basic customer. Who is the number 1 customer on your list right now? And how far does that go in terms of a variety, in terms of municipalities or private companies, so on and so forth?
Yeah, it's really split. So we've got about half the business right now is large commercial customers, people who rely on electricity to run their businesses, to meet their customers' needs. Those folks are in some cases more advanced on decarbonization even than the utilities are. They've made corporate commitments, and you see this from all the big companies now, to decarbonize their operations. And so they want storage because it helps them manage costs, it helps them manage carbon, it makes sure that there's power available at the plant. So that's about half the business. And the other half of the business is on the utility side. And municipals, it's interesting you kind of called that out, Sully, because municipal utilities are, I think, very much leading in this space.
Okay.
Because they're owned by their customers. reliability is absolutely top of mind.
Yeah, you sent over some B-roll a couple interviews ago with respect to, I think it was a congressman or a senator. Talk about that, because that was a really important piece of this game here. Suddenly you've got political will behind not only consumer will and municipal will in terms of this space. Talk about that and how important that was.
Yeah, well, it is important. I mean, energy is one of the more regulated businesses around. So whether it's at a state level or a local level or a national level. So, starting at the national level now, there's incentives built into the tax code for deploying renewables, but specifically what's new, which is probably driving some of the interest, is that there are tax credits for deploying storage. So that didn't used to exist, and now it does. And so as people are figuring the math out on that, it makes the value proposition around these products, twice as good.
Sure.
So that drives then the activity at the regulatory level.
Well, sure, which by the way is where it's going to get bogged up in the first place. So that's good news for you. Last question today is what is next for you guys in terms of strategic goals during this sort of energy transition? What's going to happen? Let's talk 6 months, 12 months, 18 months type thing, unless we've got to take the picture even longer.
Yeah, well, it's a game of scale, right? So this is all about getting big. And as you get bigger, you drive your costs down. As you get your costs down, people buy more and you get margin expansion. So that's the name of the game. So that's really what our focus is. We've got a nice facility just south of Portland here in Oregon. We're now looking at how we expand from here. We're getting a ton of support and a ton of interest. Everybody wants a gigafactory in their backyard. So who knows where we'll go. But just really driving to bigger and bigger scale. That's the big driver.
The definition of right place at the right time. Eric Dresselhuys, thanks once again. As usual, we'll see you next week or so. He is the CEO of ESS Inc, ESS Inc, and the stock symbol GWH. Of course, publicly traded under GWH. You can go to essinc.com. We'll put it on our website as well. Thanks, Eric. I love that guy.
Good.
Smart guy.
Super smart.
Talk about right place, right time.
Oh man, I want one in my backyard.
Everybody does. I want a gigafactory. All right. It's the Big Biz Show. Stand by. Much more to come. Big Biz Show. That does it for us. For all the credits. We'll see you tomorrow.